As requested, a portfolio update. People have been asking for this, and this might be the last time I realistically do one regarding altcoins. I've been pretty vocal on X recently, feel free to follow me there, but I have been talking about rebalancing my portfolio because I haven't liked certain things. I've sold stuff. Now, I did these a couple of weeks ago. My Patreon members know that, and I've been talking about this for a while, but here we go. This is a reveal. Everyone has different risk profiles, different risk appetite, and most importantly, how much money they're playing with and experience. Remember, I have been around for a while. I don't have to worry too much about altcoins. I can sit more in Bitcoin too. It's fine. I will also reveal a part of my exit strategy and what I'm looking to do. As I said, I am not looking to do many of these portfolio update videos because I am looking to get fully out of altcoins at a certain point. However, don't forget to like this video. It'll be nice if you hit the subscribe button as well. And yeah, let's get into it. And please, guys, be kind in the comments. You look a little bit silly telling me what to do with my own money. That's all I'm going to say. So the hard part of the video is probably this, is telling you that I have sold something, right? I have sold my Rose. Fair enough. People, if you follow me on X, you'll know that. I'm going to explain mainly my reasons. Now, at the end of March, I was talking about this on my Patreon, open-minded thinking. I've got some thoughts here, boys and girls. What do you think? And it came down pretty well. And I redid my research. Now, one of the things that I often preach to people is, if you're unsure, redo your research. Go and have a little look, right? I got a really good entry, but I just wasn't happy with the development and the speed of development and what's happening. I wasn't happy with the fact that Sapphire, you know, as an EVM has been out for over a year now, has zero compatibility with any centralized exchanges. That makes it hard to use. You have to then go and create a new wallet to put it into Paratime to use it on IlluminX. That's hard work. And you can't get it out when you do it because there's no centralized exchanges that actually cover it. Bit of a problem. Not to mention the amount of transactions are dropping, and it just feels like they're lagging, and I don't like that. Most of crypto is mobile. They don't even have a mobile wallet. That isn't good. So at this event that was happening last week, it was all about this, the rebrand. Where's the mobile wallets? Where's the centralized exchange Sapphire, you know, compatibility? Where's other things that are coming? What's happening? So I wasn't very happy, put it that way. So I sold it. And that's the thing. And I think it's a learning point for everyone here. Crypto adapts and changes so quickly. This could do all right. But in my opinion, right now, in this moment, I think it's behind versus everything else, right? And that's huge. That's massive. I've sold my Moonbeam. You weren't expecting that, were you? I still think Moonbeam will be a success, but there's a reason why. I sold Moonbeam because I've got Entangle, and I've just got to kind of focus on what I've got. I have too many coins that are focused on the Ethereum virtual machine. Both Rose and this is an Ethereum virtual machine, right? I've got Entangle. Why do I need 3? I don't. I need 1. Put it that way. So that was it. Personal life, though, for me, is a bit crap at the minute. Most people know this if you follow me on X. I don't want to have a million assets to focus on and keep updated with and talk about and cover myself and look at things and try and figure out what's happening on updates and keep people informed if you've invested through me. That's the problem with my life. I hate that part of it, is people will be in the comment section go, oh, why did you sell? I feel obliged to hold something because I bought it and I talked about it. That's the problem. And then I've got to keep up to date with it and tell you guys of updates. Some altcoins I love, but some altcoins I've had for a while, but I don't talk about much, if ever. How many times do I tweet about Nia? I don't tweet much about Nia that often, but I hold it and it's one of my biggest altcoins. Same with other ones, which you'll see in this list. But at the end of the day, certain things I do feel obliged to talk about. But Moonbeam for me will be okay because of, I think, Polkadot, and we're going to talk about Polkadot in a bit, will probably get a little bit of sunlight soon. Now, going back to the the Rose / Polkadot sort of Ethereum virtual machine / Moonbeam, whatever you want to know it as. I wasn't happy. The final straw for me was the transactions on this. Now, the scariest part of this is a year bit of data. So we're talking obviously a year. It's only been out roughly a year, as you can see by 2,000 transactions. There's only 10.2 2 million transactions on Ethereum virtual machine, Sapphire, or whatever you know it as. When you go onto Moonbeam, there's 40.5. It's a lot more. And reality is, when you compare both projects, Rose is always the one that looks the more obvious, right? But in terms of transactions per day, Moonbeam actually gets a hell of a lot more versus Rose. So why? Barrier to entry. As I say, it's hard work. It's hard graft to get. It really is a bit weird. And I've used other wallets. I've used a Bitcoin ecosystem as well recently. I've used, obviously, Polkadot. Polkadot is often jabbed as one of the hardest things to use. Yeah, see my point? I hope that makes sense, right? That is lagging. Before I go on to my altcoins, there is a 50% off offer for halving on Learning Crypto, right? It's going to be off on Sunday, so you do not have long. Go onto the Learning Crypto website. Link is below, right? If you want courses, if you want the daily videos, the guidance, the live streams, the indicators, all that kind of stuff, basically the annual plan. Code is called halving, funny enough. Put it in, you will save 50%. 60 quid for a year, 125 quid for a year. Plug done. My portfolio. I am roughly 32% weight Bitcoin and the remaining in altcoins. That's kind of my spread. So it's a decent bit of exposure in altcoins when you given the fact of what Bitcoin is and the narratives there. As I say, done some changes. I bought some new stuff too. Hey, we will go on to it. But yes, I am pretty much looking to accumulate my Bitcoin. We talked before about exit plan, and hopefully you haven't skipped ahead. But my plan is to sell most of my assets into Bitcoin and then manage Bitcoin. I will be selling into fiat. I will be selling some into Tether, but majority of it will be going into Bitcoin when the dominance drops eventually. Human greed will take over and altcoins will eventually fly against Bitcoin in a short period of time. Therefore, I will get Bitcoin and then I can manage that position. Bitcoin has the obvious element of not dying as much as altcoins, and also you don't lose Satoshis when you have Bitcoin, which is hugely important, which usually I find that Bitcoin is the king and altcoins are making me cry right now because they keep taking my Bitcoin off me. So yeah, the obvious one, Bitcoin. Now, I mentioned NIA before. NIA has been a shining light in a lot of people's portfolios. I've been covering this for a while. I bought this at under $1. I've been accumulating for a while and I've been enjoying it. The problem is, how high can it go? Well, the supply is different versus the last cycle, but their partnerships and the AI element to it is hugely important here. Probably still has a bit of room in the tank to grow. I really like NIA and it's done very, very well. So NIA is probably one of my biggest altcoins. Not sure on percentages. I'm not going to go through those. But ultimately, yes, still holding NIA. Still like it. You know, recently just been rebalancing. I took a bit of profit on it recently. One of my best orders was roughly around 3,000 Satoshis on this. I sold at roughly 1,100. No, was it? Yeah, 11,800 I think it was. Nearly 12,000 Satoshis. So yeah, pretty happy with it. One of those coins that probably will do very well in the whole AI/graphic narrative, in my opinion. Cue the hate comments. Polkadot. Now, I know people will be like, but Polkadot's dead. It's a dino coin. Funny enough, I did a video recently about certain things, about good return of investment, risk to reward and all that kind of stuff. And everyone was like, but these are all dino coins. Everyone's got this preconceived idea that every coin is a dino coin these days. It came out in 2020, this. It's not really that old, right? However, something I need to talk about. Now, Gavin Wood was on stage yesterday talking about Jam. He also shaved his head. He wrote the Ethereum yellow paper. He wrote Polkadot, obviously. And he has just released Jam. Jam could change the whole entire game. Let me go through just this bit. I'm not going to go too deep. Jam will handle 85 times the computation power of Polkadot 1.0, right? This is massive. Now, it looks like, and I don't know the full ins and outs, I've not read the whole thing yet, and I've not looked too much into the summaries. It's probably the most obvious element to explain it is it's like Ethereum 2.0, or what it should have been, utilized on obviously Polkadot now. However, replacing the relay chain, making it easy to use, barrier to entry, but also with the scalability. Remember, Solana has all of its price attributes and is, all that kind of stuff looks good, but it goes down multiple times. It doesn't handle real-time degradation. Polkadot could well be the blockchain that is the one that is unstoppable in terms of technology and use. Now, this is the thing, and I know it sounds a lot of copium for a lot of people, but when I think about an altcoin, I want the most decentralized. Polkadot fits that bill. I want the best technology. Polkadot probably fits that bill too. Even though the price is lagging right now, you could argue, yes, the usage isn't there yet. But there's a massive fact that Polkadot 2.0, core time sales, the barrier to entry removed, and then adding jam to the situation could well mean that Polkadot is one of the best placed assets in a bull market to do well. Binning off the crowd loans and the parachain element to it, and it is just Polkadot. That is where it gets interesting. But again, I probably will talk about this in more detail in my Patreon or another video, talking about jam and all the kind of stuff and the information that's coming out. It's all new. It's all very, very new. So I need to get my head around it. But yeah, Polkadot, still one of my main holds. One of my new holds is Stacks, a Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem. Now, I think the Bitcoin narrative is going to be huge in this cycle due to the ETFs and obviously the halving scarcity and the price and stuff. Now, I look at this as a $3.6 billion asset thinking, yeah, cool. Yes, I know I should have bought it a lot earlier, bloody hell. But ultimately, I was playing with profit, moved some money around. And at the same time, I look at this thinking, well, if Bitcoin moves, this will probably move. It probably will allow me to keep some of my Satoshis as well, providing it doesn't melt. So again, when we talk about this, we talk about the whole economy of Bitcoin, the layer 2 side of it. And what you can do on Bitcoin now is unbelievable, by the way. Now, my preconceived idea back in the day was, I don't think maxis will adopt this. Turns out they did. And they have, and they're building on it. Ooh, so that was a huge thing. Now, this is huge, this sentiment here, unlock a 1 trillion in BTC capital. Yes, you think Bitcoin is a $1.2 trillion asset. What will Stacks be? It's currently 3.5 billion, right? What about if it does a 10x? It probably can. When you think what's going live soon in the Bitcoin ecosystem with runes chain and stuff like that, and obviously all the ordinals, inscription, all these kind of stuff, right? Not to mention the networks. There's Naka chain on BVM, which I will talk about in a sec. There's all kinds. So that is just giving you more and more value to the Bitcoin network as it's growing. So yeah, Stacks seems like an obvious one. Plus, you can stake it or you can stack it and you can earn Bitcoin. Pretty cool, right? So Entangle, one of my best performing assets because of the private sale that I got in. I know I'm very lucky. But again, as I talk about it, makes no sense holding Rose and holding Moonbeam when I've got this as a good order. This is going into a mainnet very, very soon. Already you can see the data on the screen. It's quite good for testnet transactions. I know it's only testnet, but mainnet will be the crux of it. There's going to be a load of meme coins get released onto it, and it works very, very well. The element to it is obviously it's very new, and new assets, as people keep telling me, are the best, and I should have them. So I was listening to you guys on this one, thinking, you know what? Why not just put all my eggs in one basket for Ethereum virtual machine and use the bad boy Entangle? So yes, I will be looking at more of this when mainnet goes live, obviously. Staking. This is coming out very, very soon, which is essentially kind of like a meme coin with a very, very nice looking, you get the idea. I'm not going to go and show you the images because it's quite funny. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming. You can use this with multiple blockchains. So I'm pretty excited about this. The next one is IlluminX. Now, as you can see here, we're going to go over to CoinGecko. This is a cross-chain DEX. I talked about it on X not too long ago, and people laughed at me when I said it's not really a DEX, and it kind of is and it isn't. They don't really want to be known as a DEX. They want to be known as cross-chain, right? It works very well. I do like using it. And there's a bit of a get-out-of-jail card for these guys. Now, as I said, it is Rose, Sapphire, EVM, but they can also use Bitcoin Network on it. That's coming very, very soon. There's also likes of, Ethereum, Solana, etc., right? That's the thing what can save these guys, right? And this is obvious. Sapphire, as I said before, a little bit laggy, a bit hard to use, pain in the ass. But Ethereum Virtual Machine, for example, is really good because you can use MetaMask, you can just jump in and off you go. So there's an element where if they focus on that side of it, it might be much better. I'm still holding. Still think there's a lot of narratives at play here that could do very well. But the reality is they need to go and target and go after other ecosystems to make it better. Using it though, really good, really useful for moving stuff around. It does save you a bit of money as well versus obviously the Uniswap version, but you get the idea, right? But ultimately, they're brand new. There's a lot of things for them to work on, but the narratives that they got with like privacy Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff, that could be huge, right? Another one, touch on it briefly, more Rose ecosystem. This one has been an absolute flop. Oops. Always happens though. There's always situations where things don't go right or wrong or what, I don't know, you don't get the idea. So this one didn't really work out as it should have done. But yeah, whether they survive or not, don't know. But yeah, I'm still holding only because I can't sell. Oops. I've also recently just bought some of this, which is Bitcoin Virtual Machine. A little bit of a degen-y sort of one, but ultimately it's new. It is very, very new actually. Basically, it's like another layer 2 on Bitcoin Virtual Machine. Rune Chain's coming out, so Rune's all coming out and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things getting built on this. As I say, brand new, right? If you're going down the rabbit hole of Bitcoin, you'll find a lot of stuff like this. It's got a decent treasury by the sound of it as well. So yeah, a little bit of a punt here. Not much risk in this, but ultimately, if it does make some multiples here and there because of the developments in it, and obviously Bitcoin doing well, it might be okay. But yeah, one of my new ones. And the final one is Poker Gold. Now, this was the most randomest investment I've ever had in my life. I just bought something on a whim because someone said, oh, look at this. Literally, that's what happened. Got released, came out, did all right, got to like 3 million, sorry, market cap. Did all right. It isn't to do with Polkadot as the name would suggest, but it's more on Algorand. But yeah, it's done very well, and I'm just holding on to it because I'm massively in profit and I'm just sitting on it. It's cool. So we'll see how it goes. Again, risky, but I've not changed anything. I've just not sold anything. It's actually doing all right. The liquidity in this is actually pretty strong considering what it is. So yeah, we'll see how this develops. But Algorand has to do something. Algorand is it's not doing very well in terms of marketing and obviously presence versus other things. So technology is good, it's fast, the wallet's really, really good, but it's just not getting any sunlight. So we'll see how things go there. And that's pretty much it. As I've alluded to before throughout this video, as an exit plan, I'm looking for dominance to drop and then sell my altcoins to Bitcoin and into fiat, basically, and diversify. That's it. As simple as that. A lot of people, in my opinion, are new to crypto who think they're going to get rich quick, but you got to think of the bigger picture, the old hare and the tortoise kind of situation. You know, no one gets rich quick, right? You tend to lose money first. So be mindful of that. But there we go. I want to say thank you for all the support recently. My life has been pretty cack. The views, the likes, all the positive comments as well. Thank you. Means a lot. But yeah, this is probably the last video I will do regarding my position in altcoins for a very long time until I sell. So yeah, just be mindful of that video. Could be fun. But there we go. Enjoy. There's a video floating around on the screen very, very soon regarding, you know, potential cycles.